Welcome to part 2 of our coverage. We'll take in action from all 3 Suzuki International Series rounds, but the focus will be on the 3rd and final round at the Cemetery Circuit. The action started at the Taupo Motorsport Park with a big pre-Christmas crowd in attendance. For one fan, thanks to the Taupo Hospice and Cemetery Circuit Limited, it was a day he would never forget. Meinhard Ehlers is a huge bike and Peter Hickman fan and was overjoyed to not only meet his hero, but also have items signed, not only by Hickman, but also by fellow Englishman Davey Todd.
Yeah, double duty here with a Super Moto with Richie Dibbon. He's built a bike and he'll be battling against me as well, so hopefully we'll have a few more good battles like we did last year. And then at Wanganui, I think I'm in 4 classes, so it's going to be a busy day.
The Suzuki International Series is not only New Zealand's most popular series, but also doubles as the New Zealand Championship. There were, as usual, big fields, but there were 2, current New Zealand #1 and Davey Todd, that the big crowd had come to see.
Managed to get the start in front of Richie, and he put the pressure on every second of every lap, I think, and tried every which way to sort of get around. Showed me a front wheel a few times, but yeah, managed to just keep my nose ahead. I think he's got a little bit more pace than I have today, and I'm trying my best to just stay in front of him, and just managed it in that race.
Yeah, no, it's good fun. I mean, just sort of so close out there and battling away, and you know, trust them and everything. Like, I mean, we're pretty close at some of those corners now. I could probably almost, you know, reach out and grab them. So that's cool. Good to paddle with someone, and you know, keep the racing exciting.
The Richie Dibbon DS Moto prepared RM450Z Suzuki machines were identical, save for some cosmetic changes, and it made for the best racing seen in years.
Yeah, no, it's good fun. I mean, you know, if I was out there racing around by myself, it wouldn't be quite as enjoyable. So I've got someone to race and battle with, someone like Davey's calibre. It's you know, good fun, and yeah, really enjoy it.
For lap after lap, these 2 were never more than a tenth or 2 apart, swapping paint and rubbing plastic on many occasions. The tight racing continue at round 2's Manfield Circuit Brisbane. So from here, the field heads to the Cemetery Circuit for the decider, not only in the Suzuki International Series, but also in the New Zealand Championship. So this big field getting ready on the grid here for the 2nd and final race in the Bike Talk of Taumarunui Super Motards. Watch for #1, he is the defending champion, that is Richie Dibbon, but watch 2 for Davey Todd from North Yorkshire in England. He's certainly been keeping Dibbon honest. So it is Richie Dibbon into the lead as they head down into turn #1, and that is the Auto Super Shop of Tawa, turn 1. Through they come, it's the Suzuki's leading, it's Dibbon, and then it's Davey Todd shadowing him. Looks like Will Young on the Husqvarna through in 3rd place, and the veteran in there as well, and that is Mitch Rowe. 622 is Ash Scott. Now that is the son of Craig Cudge Scott, and Craig is in this field as well. Tell you a little bit more about Craig as we get through. On board here with Richie Dibbon, looking for the inside run as they work their way down into the Robert Holden Memorial Turn, brought to you by Trade Zone for the first of 8 times. We take the shot from the Dentist Chase Drone as they work their way through towards the Mondial curves, and then out over the overbridge they go. On board here with Davey Todd, down the TS motorcycle, straight across the Marshall motorcycle start-finish line they come, and it's Dibbon in the front. Well, whoever wins this will clinch the New Zealand Championship. Will it be the defending champion, Richie Dibbon, or will it be his arch nemesis over the past 3 rounds of the Suzuki International Series, and that is Davey Todd. There he is, letter D. As we said before, these bikes absolutely identical, save for a few cosmetic changes, and that's why the racing has been so good. On board here with Davey Todd, heading down into the Robert Holden Memorial Corner once again, brought to you by Trade Zone. Down the Kiwi Bike Insurance straight they go. Once again, we take the overhead shot as they work their way through Trade Zone 2 and out onto the Mondial curves for the 2nd time. Back on board here with Todd. Over the Bridgestone overbridge they come, and down the front straight. Terminal velocity here on the infamous Cemetery Circuit, 1.6 kilometres around, 1 mile in the old language, and you see there that Richie Dibbon has got a break. Now, is it going to be a winning break? 007, not James Bond, but Mitch Rowe, who's probably been around as long as James Bond. Just recently took another title in the Veterans New Zealand Motocross Championships. You're on board here with Mitch, currently sitting in 4th or 5th place. a long way from the front. This guy, one of the first pro motocrossers in New Zealand, certainly been around for a long, long time. Looked like Cud Scott in behind him on the 62. So this, the battle for the miners as they work their way into the Robert Holden trade zone corner once again. Into trade zone 2 they go once more. We take the dentist's overhead shot from the chase drone. As this battle starts to hot up this little bit, there is Alex Scott. There is the 399 of James Carley on yet another Husqvarna. Husqvarna, KTM, Yamaha and Suzuki, the popular mates here as you take the action once again from high above the streets of Wanganui. As coming into shot now, number 214, and that is Chris Andrews, also KTM mounted. Back on board here with James Clark. James Clark, a Wanganui boy. Just in front of him, I think it would be Craig Cud Scott on the CRF 450. James Clark also on a Honda, but a yellow Honda, just to fool the spectators here. Under the Emmets Bridge they go, heading down through the GVS's. Back to the front of the field and ready, the leaders are into the lap traffic. You're on board here with the man currently sitting in second place as he works his way through the Auto Super Shop of Tawa, turn number 1. Down the Auto Super Shop short chute and out onto the Sharp As Line Hall turn 2. This is this battle we've been concentrating on, and it's the veteran. It's still Mitch Rowe towing them all around. Down through turn 1 they go, down into the short chute and then out onto Taupo Kuga. Right on board here with Mitch Rowe. Bad Boy Club sticker on the front guard, just dating Mitch a little bit. The Taranaki Terror he used to be known as. And behind him, 622 Alex Scott. And then we go back to Craig Scott, and that's another member of Team Mudflap. White flag comes out, and is this a winning break for Richie Dibbon? I don't know that Davey Todd's got any answer, so it is the number 1, and that is Richie Dibbon. You're on board with him here. White flag out, so 1 to go for Dibbon. He is the defending Super Motard champion. Is he going to be the new Super Motard champion or the returning Super Motard champion? Number 86 there, Don Staden on the KTM, is going to play a part in this one as Davey Todd tries to round him up as he does so as they go under the Emmets pedestrian bridge once again. Through the GVS as they come down into the trade zone, Robert Holland Memorial Corner for the last time. On board here with the champion-elect, this is Richie Dibbon. He's got the best seat in the house, and he's going to get the biggest cheer in the house as well, because like so many competing here, he is a Wanganui boy, and he is going to be the newly crowned New Zealand champion, or the defending champion holds onto his crown. Big wheelie coming from Davey Todd over the line in second place. In behind him is Don State, and he's in fact a lap down on the 86 KTM. This is a battle for the miners as they work their way towards the Bridgestone overbridge. You're riding with Mitch Rowe. Trying to get around the outside of him is Alex Luff Scott on the Honda, and Scott's got the nose in front, and I think he gets the veteran right on the line. And behind him, it would have been number 35, Will Young, on yet another Husqvarna. So Richie Dibbon is the new champion, or the defending champion, crowned again. Davey Todd in second place, Alex Stuff Scott, Mitch Rowe, Will Young, James Carley and Craig Scott.
Mate, you guys look like you have some pretty good fun out there. It's a good battle, eh? He's a good guy.
Yeah, no, it's good fun. Obviously just before they're pretty lucky with that with the weather. But no, it was good fun out there. First decent start I've actually got all year, so managed just to get in front of Davey there and sort of put in a few good laps, but no, it was good fun.
Still plenty of action to come here at the Cemetery Circuit as we wind into the third and final round of the Suzuki International Series. A relatively new class on the New Zealand motorcycle scene are the still shop of Wanganui Supersport 300s. Always near the front, they finished second and third behind Jesse Stroud in last year's series with a D6 Motorsport KTM team.
All three of us boys were all really close and competitive in time, so as much as we're racing everyone else, we're always racing each other. So yeah, we're pushing the boundary within the team as well to try and make ourselves go quicker. So yeah, it's great to be a part of the team, the Double Six Motorsport, and yeah, ride these awesome KTMs, really.
The class is essentially three makes: the KTM 390, the R3 Yamaha, and the Kawasaki 400cc Ninja. While the KTMs were dominant in this round, that would change in round two.
It's a tough one. Your teammate's your best mate, but he's the first guy you want to beat too. This particular weekend, Hamish is just doing that a bit better than the rest of us. Some weekends we might be doing a bit better. One of the nice things about Double Six Motorsport and being part of the team, your teammate's not your main enemy. Yeah, sure, you want to beat him, but at the same time, he's the guy helping you to go faster. We share all our data, we work with each other, we get quicker by helping each other in the team.
I've been riding the fastest I've ever ridden around this track, so it's been an incredible amount of time spending to get the bikes developed and yeah, just make changes here and there when we feel like it, but yeah, definitely a lot faster than we were last year, so yeah.
The secret to the class are the strengths and weaknesses of each of the makes in the various tracks.
When I first came into 300s, we didn't really put anything in the presentation. We didn't care how we looked, we just wanted to go fast. But Jack and Leah, they do a really good job of presenting the bikes, presenting the teams, the uniform, the leathers. I'm really, really happy with how it's all turned out. I think it looks great, and I'm really proud of how the team presented.
Oh, it's some of the best racing. I mean, if you look at it on the world class, Moto 3 is no different. You always get the best racing out of that class from the perspective of there's not enough power to break loose. It's always a game of high-speed chess. We're getting up to speeds of 190, 195 with slipstream. So it's good fun, and no one really breaks free these days. So you get racing from first lap to last lap.
The flying KTM ointment at Mansfield was Silverdale's Tyler King on his Kawasaki.
But yeah, now it should be real close racing. This KTM boys definitely keeping me on my toes, but there's a lot of thinking that comes into it. Definitely got the bike and the mechanics to beat in there. So.
Like a lot of riders, King was doing double duty here, riding the F3 as well.
Yeah, no, actually aiming to do 3 classes. Sadly, one of the bikes didn't make it, all the engine's still in bits, but yeah, 2 classes still keeping me busy enough.
As the class headed to round 3 in the cemetery circuit, it was King that was the points leader.
Oh, just the atmosphere, you know, all those people, and yeah, I just love the track and the atmosphere, it's real cool.
You really feel the atmosphere and you feel the love for motorcycle racing when you're there, so.
Oh, Wanganui is awesome. I mean, it's it's the only street circuit left in North Island. It's such a special place, the fans, the people, the atmosphere. It's my favourite track by a country mile. I love it to bits, and I can't wait to be there again.
Well, here we are at Wanganui, the cemetery circuit, for the third and final round of the Suzuki International Series. And this is the all-important race number 1. The weather's come right, we're set for some great action, and that has been the hallmark of the 300s this season so far. So away they go, and it's the 51 that gets away the very best of all. And that is Auckland's Cameron Leslie as we take the onboard pictures. And now from the outside shot, Leslie in the front, looks like his teammate Logan Rowell up there as well, and so too Hamish Simpson. So the D6 Motorsport KTM team well and truly represented there. There is the points leader going into the third and final round. That is Tyler King from Silverdale on the 128. That's the Kawasaki Ninja, a 400cc machine, but it's the 390, the single-cylinder KTMs that are holding sway as they head down into the Robert Holden trade zone corner for the first of 8 times. You can see the track is completely dried now. Oh, one just running a little bit wide there, but we continue the racing as they work their way towards the Bridgestone Bridge for the first time. Still Leslie in the front, second last year to Jesse Stroud. Haven't seen too much of Jesse Stroud, but as I speak, there he is at the back of this bunch. So across the Barstool Motorcycles start-finish line they go, on board here with Cameron Leslie. So it is now the 46 in the front, and that is Hamish Simpson. Well, you heard both Leslie and Rowell say that there's no team orders in D6 Motorsport. You do as best as you can. And so far, so good. But the fly in the ointment, if you like. And we ride with him here. This is Tyler King from Silverdale. Mad Mike Widett, one of his many group of sponsors. And he is fast, making his way toward the front of the field. 16 just dropping a spot. Logan Rowell in the third of the D6 Motorsport KTM New Zealand. KTM 390s. You're on board here with Logan. Just ahead of him now is the 27, the World Traveller, it would seem. Jesse Stroud, number 27 on the Kawasaki. Just a hair off the pace at the moment, but expect that to change. Across the stripe they come once again. Still Hamish Simpson in the front. Had a problem at Manfield in round 2 of the Suzuki Series, and that probably cost him any chance of a championship. 51 goes back into the lead now as they head down the Auto Super Shop of Tawa short shoot and out onto the sharp as line haul straight, Taupo Key, and then through the Suzuki crossing they go. Now the front three have bunched right up and still trying to get onto the contact. At the back of Tyler King is Jesse Stroud. There'll be 4 of them together as they work their way down the Vista Homes and Building straight and into the trade zone Robert Holden turn. KTM, and then the Kawasaki. And in fact 2 Kawasaki's, because Jesse Stroud has joined the party as well. Heading down towards the Mondial curves. They come and over the Bridgestone Bridge once again. They're on board here with Tyler King. He's the points leader, remember. Had a mammoth Manfield round 2 of the Suzuki International Series, looking to make the pass as he dives down the inside as they work through turn 1, and the KTM boys work in tandem and they shut the door, and Tyler King's got to come up with something else. And while he's thinking about that, Jesse Stroud on the 27 cranked right over using all the body English in the world from the Logan Rao camera. He's trying to stay in contact. He's trying to stay in 4th place. Through the Suzuki crossing they go, under the Emmets Bridge and through the GVS's as they head towards Robert Holden once again. A good passing opportunity on the racetrack here, and that's what Jesse Stroud's looking at as he tries to go up the inside of Logan Rowell. Can he get the pass made? No, he can't. No change at the front of the field. On board here with Tyler King. Up into 2nd place now. No, make it 3rd place. So it's still the 51 leading it, and that is Cam Leslie. Now, Cam Leslie, you wouldn't know it by his body English on the motorbike, but he hobbles to the bike every time. He had a bit of a road accident leading into the Suzuki Series. He was riding his partner's scooter, fell off it, and did some pretty serious damage to his hip. Hasn't slowed his progress, though, as you're back on board here with Logan Rowell, another one of the D6 Motorsport KTMs. Ahead of him now is Jesse Stroud on the Kawasaki. Well, I said he was a world traveller. He's just come back from racing in Europe. He's been racing consistently in Australia as well in our off-season. Done a lot of laps around here at Wanganui and all sorts of different makes. They're on board here with Logan Rowell as he tries to chase Stroud down. Can't get it done at the moment. The front three bunching up, and I think they've got to change. I think Tyler King has made his way into 2nd spot. Yes, as they work their way toward the Mondial VGL curves, it is Tyler King on the Kawasaki in 2nd, the multicoloured letters, but it is still the 51 of Cam Leslie in the front. Here comes the move down the inside as they head down into the Auto Super Shop of Tawa, turn number 1. Can't get it done, but now he is a whole lot closer this time to Leslie. Leslie on the D6 Motorsport, the orange machine, the KTM 390. Tyler King on the Kawasaki Ninja. Has he got a little bit more pace as they come into the Suzuki crossing? The pass is made and Tyler King goes into the front. And there's nothing Cameron Leslie can do about it, but they've now distanced themselves from 3rd place, and that is still Hamish Simpson. On board here with Cameron Leslie, trying to get up the inside as they work through the versatile home straight and down into the Robert Holden turn once again. And Leslie runs a little bit wide, and Tyler King comes back into the front. And you take the best pictures in the house as they work their way toward the Bridgestone Overbridge once again. Silverdale, Tyler King, another one that's a target for punishment, runs all the classes he can. Was scheduled to run 3 classes here today at Wanganui. He leads it as they head down into the Auto Super Shop of Tawa, turn 1, and then down the Auto Super Shop of Tawa, short shoot, and out onto the sharp as line haul, turn 2, and onto the straight. Lap right is not a problem for Tyler King as he rounds them up and shuts them down, heading for the Suzuki crossing once again. Cam Leslie is a little bit closer this time round. Then we go back to Hamish Simpson, just holding up Jesse Stroud at the moment. On board here with Cameron Leslie through the GVES's and down the Versatile Builder straight and into Robert Holden. Leslie gathers up all the courage, tries to run down the inside, just runs it a little bit wide. And I think Leslie is put back into 2nd place by the aggressive Tyler King. You get the best seat in the house as they work their way through the Mondial VGL curve and out onto the Bridgestone Overbridge. Remember, running to the checkered flag, and Tyler King's got it wrong, and Jesse Stroud's collided with the sliding bike of Tyler King. You wouldn't read about it. KTM's going to finish 1, 2 and 3, but the red flag comes out. Here it is on the replay. That's the best slide you've ever seen, but unfortunately Jesse Stroud couldn't avoid the sliding Tyler King, and they wipe out, and that brings out the red flag, and that means that the race will be declared, I would think, and that means that KTMs have come 1, 2 and 3. Cameron Leslie will be adjusted to be first, Hamish Simpson will be second, and Logan Rowell will be third, and Tyler King and Jesse Stroud will have to pick each other up again. Here it is on the replay. This is what caused the red flag. Just got a little bit over his head coming into the final turn before the Marshall motorcycles finished straight to Tyler King. There he is getting some attention from the Suzuki Series medical car, but the official results tell the story. Not good reading if you're a Tyler King fan, but very good reading if you're a fan of D6 Motorsport. More heart-stopping action from the Cemetery Circuit right after the break. Sidecars were first introduced at the Cemetery Circuit in 1952. And as a one-race New Zealand Championship in 53 and 54, decades on, they are still very popular. By lap 3 in race number 1 of the 8-lap Ignition Motor Group race, the leaders were Bruce Roberts and Kendall Dunlop on their BMW, from Wanganui's Rob Hood and Graham Wilkerson on a Norton, and the Inglewood pairing of Glenn and Jan Shearer on yet another Beamer. 2 laps to go and a change in the minders, with now Smith and Louise Blythe third and the Spencers now fourth. This battle would go right down to the wire. A surprise awaited the leaders 4 seconds up the road. They were adjudged to have jumped the start and were relegated. This handed the lead to the Norton of Hood and Wilkinson. Race 2 of the Ignition Motor Group Classic Sidecars was the all-important TT, and it was much closer, with Mark Smith and Louise Blythe the early leaders, race 1 winner Hood and Wilkinson sitting in second. As the top 4 started to pull away, it was still the Beamer of Smith and Blythe in the front, but nipping at their wheels were Roberts and Dunlop on yet another BMW. They got close at Robert Holden and then drew level through the Mondial VGL curves. As they came to the overbridge, who would blink first? Turns out it was Smith and Blythe, but they weren't done with yet, retaking the lead and then losing the yet as they headed to the Sharp As line haul straight for the last time. After being relegated in race 1, there was vindication for the leading pair of Roberts and Dunlop in race number 2. This time the celebrations were for real, as Bruce Roberts and Kendall Dunlop took the win and the TT title. Well, we shift gears a little bit here from the classic sidecars to the current crop. This is the Carl Cox Motorsport F1 and F2 sidecars. Second and final race, the TT for the three-wheel brigade. You're on board here with Tracy Bryan and Kendall Dunlop. They're a little further down the grid. This is Barry Smith and Stu Dorr, currently sitting alongside Phil Law and Angus Ravenswood. But the very best of the starts goes to the defending champions, and that is Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose. You're on board here with Barry Smith and Stu Dorr as they work their way through turn 1, the Auto Super Shop of Tawa corner, and down the short chute they'll come into the Sharp As line haul turn 2, and then out onto Taupo Key, Sharp As line haul straight. 12, the Aprilia of Adam Unsworth in the front. He is the defending champion. Barry Smith in second place. Then we go back to Phil Law and Angus Ravenswood. These two getting very, very close. So 55, this is the Dowman family. This is Peter and Michael Dowman. Now, they are the defending champions in the F2, or the 600 class, as we go back on board here with Barry Smith and Stu Dorr. Already Unsworth and Rose are starting to get away as they work their way through trade zone turn number 2, down towards the Mondial VGL curves and out towards the Bridgestone overbridge. Back on board here with Barry Smith and Stu Dorr. Now, getting back to the 600cc battle, the F2 battle, there was bad luck at round 1 for Peter and Michael Dowman. They had some engine issues on their Suzuki rig, and that's probably cost them any chance of defending their championship. And the leader in the F2s now would be Tracy Bryan and Kendall Dunlop. Back at the front of the field, though, the gap's starting to open up now. Number 13 there, Phil Law and Angus Ravenswood, just losing a little bit of ground to the 73 rig. This is the race leader, though, working his way through the GVSs up the Versatile Homes and Builders Straight. They come now and into the trade zone, Robert Holden Memorial Corner. The Metalcraft, Boss Engineering, Aprilia, probably the fastest Aprilia sidecar in the world, I would think. Second place is the Carl Cox Motorsport LCR of Barry Smith and Stu Dorr. They work their way through trade zone 2 and out towards the Mondial VGL curves and onto the overbridge as well. So no change at the top of the field. See a little bit of wheel spin there. So we've had a little bit of a rain shower just before this race started. So traction's going to be a pretty high-priced commodity, I would think. Number 13 there is Phil Law and Angus Ravenswood. They're currently comfortable in third place. Now, the last time we looked, it was the leading F2 rig, and that was Pete and Michael Dowman, the Wanganui pairing. Wanganui motorcycle royalty. The whole family certainly involved heavily in the cemetery circuit. Just getting it up on 2 wheels as they work their way through the Suzuki crossing out through the GVSs and down towards the braking area for the Robert Holden trade zone corner once again. So LCRs 1, 2 and 3 in F1. Adam Unsworth still a clear leader, but the battle now second and third. So Phil Law gathering up the aggression, trying to get a little bit closer to Barry Smith as they come over the Bridgestone overbridge. See the paces come out, and that's because of the wet conditions on the racetrack. They're on board here with Tracy Bryan and Kendall Dunlop. Now, they would currently be the points leaders in the F2 competition. Now, if they were to win the F2 competition, it'll be the first time in 60 plus years that a female has taken a title at Wanganui at the cemetery circuit. And Tracy's got quite the CV. She still holds the classic sidecar record with her brother Brian. She's got 1 600 rig up ahead of her, and that is Darryl Williams and Paul Jenkins, but they aren't in contention for the prize. These guys definitely are. Tracy Bryan and Kendall Dunlop. Tracy normally swimming with Joe Franson. She's on maternity leave at the moment, and Kendall Dunlop is very, very much a very good replacement. Things getting a little bit hotter for second and third. You're back on board here with Barry Smith and Stu Dorr. Just look at the way the rough conditions here of the cemetery circuit buffet Barry as they work their way down towards the overbridge once again. Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose are still the race leaders, just going past Peter Bredder and Vince Kerslake to put them a lap down. So they look pretty comfortable as we're on the white flag lap as we run to the checkered flag this time. Who's it going to be? You've got to put your money on these guys. They come out onto the sharp as line haul straight once again. Number 12, the Metalcraft, Boss Engineering, Aprilia, F1 sidecar, the defending champions in the Suzuki International Series, and they're going to make it another win here, I would think. Under the Emmett's pedestrian bridge they go, through the GVSs down towards the trade zone, Robert Holden Memorial Corner. Number 12 in complete control of this one. 73 through in second place. It's Barry Smith and Stu Dorr on the Carl Cox Motorsport, but it's the Aprilia show at the moment. They come out of trade zone number 2, head down towards the Mondial VGL curves for the very last time, and up over the Bridgestone overbridge, and the big crowd are going to love this because even though he lives in Auckland now, Adam Unsworth is a local from Wanganui. He sees the checkered flag first. It's a straight-out drag race for second place, but it will go to Barry Smith and Stu Dorr, and in third place it will be Phil Law and Angus Ravenswood. And taking the F2 crown will be Tracy Bryan and Kendall Dunlop, and making history in the process. The big crowds at Wanganui absolutely love the sidecars. Here is the official results for you. Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose will retain their championship. In second place will be Barry Smith and Stu Dorr. Third place will be Phil Law and Angus Ravenswood. But if you go further down the scoreboard, you'll find Tracy Bryan and Kendall Dunlop winning F2. The iTools Formula 3 is another well-subscribed class run under a set of uniquely Kiwi rules around engines and displacements, and there's always plenty of action. The front row had all the contenders present: last year's champion Carl Hooper, current points leader Tyler King and Ashley Payne, along with Jesse Stroud. Coming from the outside, number 128 Tyler King, and going with him Nick Copenhout on his Husqvarna. Carl Hooper had been pinched off through the turn one, but now was charging when the field hit the topo key, was back toward the front. Across the stripe it was King leading, but coming like a missile up the inside was Ashley Payne. Payne outbraked himself and slid across the apex of the corner, taking out Carl Hooper, the defending champion, who was none too happy about it. From the reverse angle, you see that Hooper was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Red flags flew and the race was stopped. On the restart, King again had the front, with Kempenhoort chasing hard and now up to second. Isaac Markham Barrett on the number 26 in third. Through the S's and King started to pull away. Markham Barrett was second, with Kempenhoort's Husky and Jesse Stroud now arguing over the minor positions. Another crash and another red flag at the Robert Holden Memorial corner this time saw the race stopped again. They say the third time's the charm, and this time on the restart it was the much-travelled Jesse Stroud, number 27, leading. Just on half distance, Ashley Payne was the big mover on bike number 12. Got past King and was setting his sights on Stroud. As the laps wound down, Payne got closer and closer, and on the last lap made his move. King now watching on from third. The pass came at the Robert Holden corner. To the cheers of the local crowd, Ashley Payne took the win in the third attempt of starting the iTools race number 1 for Formula 3. The iPhone F2 class has had the top layer of the championship series shaved off. Cormac Buchanan was chasing Moto 3 on the world stage, Shane Richardson had gone back to England, and Rogan Chandler had made the move to the F1 Superbikes. That meant, on paper anyway, the top dog would be Luca Derni on the Ducati.
Yeah, definitely. Last year, and when I first got on it, took a lot of time to get it working, but now it's finished product, so it's every time I get out there, it's 100%. To get on a Ducati that's more reliable than the Japanese bikes is just awesome, and super fast and easy to ride, so it's awesome to be on it.
Looking to chase him all the way was New Zealand's Formula 3 champion, Carl Hooper.
Yeah, no, real happy. Good to just be able to jump back on the bike after a long period of time and be quick. So no, super happy with that one.
Carl was another doing double duty, F2 and defending his F3 title.
Yeah, you probably couldn't get two bikes more different, but I've been riding the F3 bike for quite a while now, so I can sort of just hop on that and ride it the way I need to, and it's starting to get like that on the 600 as well.
The points leader after race number 1 was past New Zealand champion of the class, Jake Lewis, but he was only doing one round. The one they all had to watch was riding the 99 bike with the help of legend Brian Bernard. He was untouchable.
Yeah, no, Super Series last year was great actually. A huge step forward with progress with the team and my riding abilities, and yeah, hopefully this year I can maybe clinch the title was the goal, but yeah, thank God for that, yeah. Cormac isn't here, so that's a big help for me really, but yeah, Rogan's moved up. He seems to be doing quite a good job in the super bikes.
Still in touch after 2 rounds with Senson Ashton Hughes on the Scott Structural Triumph, making a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, probably about 6 or 7 seasons now, I think. And yeah, sort of coming back from a bit of a hiatus with some injury and stuff like that. But yeah, back on the own bike this year, and yeah, haven't done too much seat time, so sort of adjusting a little bit, but kind of come back straight on the pace, so pretty happy with that.
With the series finishing at New Zealand's most iconic circuit, the Cemetery Circuit, all the contenders couldn't wait to dodge the potholes and the white paint.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I haven't raced there since about 2019, I think. So yeah, definitely pretty excited to go back there.
I love Wanganui and Cemetery Circuit. It's such a nice track to ride, super easy and such a nice event.
Yeah, no, definitely looking forward to Wanganui again. Going to be riding the 600 there for the first time as well, so looking forward to it.
All the buildings and signs flying past here, it's just a really good sense of adrenaline, I reckon.
So we're set for race number 1 of the iPhone Formula 2 600 Sports Production. It's also known as we zoom in on Justin Scott on his Suzuki. So watch for the 99, that is Morgan McLaren Wood. He was untouchable at Manfield. Big wheelie as he works his way down into the Auto Super Shops of Tawa, turn number 1. In second place, number 11, Seth Devereaux, back on the Helicraft Racing MV Augusta, the bike number 11 there. And in behind him, it looks to be Ashton Hughes by the look of it. Keep an eye on him as he works his way through on the number 92 Triumph. You're on board here with Hughes as they work their way under the Emmett's pedestrian bridge for the first time of 8. 99 spent a fair bit of his time in the last couple of seasons up in the Northern Hemisphere, riding in the support classes of the British Superbikes. That is Morgan McLaren Wood. As I said, he's under the tutelage of a legend that is Brian Bernard, Wanganui boy. And what a stalwart of motorcycling in this country. On board with Ashton Hughes as they work their way over the Bridgestone Overbridge once again and complete the first lap. We look out the back of Ashton Hughes to W. Now this is Wolfgang Schuster from Germany. He's a top runner in the 600 class in Germany. He's come over here, heard all about the Cemetery Circuit, wanted to try it for himself. And Flea Willis said, look, if we can make it happen, we can make it happen. This is his best position so far. Struggled a little bit at round 1 at Topol, then started to come good at Manfield. So the man from Germany currently sitting in 4th place. Up ahead of him, Luca Durning, but don't look for the Ducati. Luca had a big crash at Manfield. He was okay, a little bit battered and bruised, but sadly the Ducati was not, and he is riding last year's, the dentist-supported Suzuki. This man's on the Suzuki as well, and already he's looking behind to see where the opposition is. This is Morgan McLaren Wood. There is Seth Devereaux from the deep south of Invercargill. He would have been one of the few people here at Wanganui this year that were praying for the rain to keep going, because he is the acknowledged rainmaster. I remember a few seasons ago now, he started from the very back at a 600 race in the NZSBK at Ruapuna and came to the front in the pouring down rain. He was probably one of the only riders that stayed on 2 wheels in the whole field. 99, Wood continues his dominance. There is Devereaux. There is Luca Durning, as I said, on the Suzuki from last year. On board here with Durning as he works his way through the trade zone corner. That is the 11 of Seth Devereaux. Just ahead of him now. He's on board here with Luca as he heads up over the Bridgestone Overbridge and down past the Marshall Motorcycle start-finish line onto the TSS Motorcycle Straight to complete yet another lap. This guy is already pulling away, and this is exactly what he did at Manfield. He was riding in a different postcode at Manfield. He was that good. Number 99, Morgan McLaren Wood on the Brian Bernard engineered and mentored Suzuki. As I said, Brian, a regular here at Wanganui in his time of riding, and a champion in various classes here around the cemetery circuit. Then he took to race team management at the Sangyong Brian Bernard racing team on Suzuki's and then on Yamahas. Brought riders from the United States, from Australia. He's done such a lot for bike racing in this country. Rod Price runs the Hillycraft Racing team that runs the 11 of Seth Devereaux. As we go back to the man in second place, this is Luca Durning, local lad from Wanganui. The dentists are his sponsor. As McLaren Wood starts another lap. And again, looking behind just to see what's happened to his opposition. Well, we can tell him there's no point in looking behind. You only just be able to see the 11 of Devereaux and the 3 of Luca Durning. Fourth place, still the man from Germany, and that is Wolfie to his friends, Wolfgang Schuster on his Yamaha machine. You're back on board here with Durning as he works his way through the S's, down into the Versatile Builders Straight and out through the Robert Holden turn. Look at the advantage that Morgan McLaren Wood has got. Second and third starting to hot up a bit though. 11, the MV Augusta, the 675 MV Augusta of Seth Devereaux, and Luca Durning get a little bit closer, but this guy is in a class of his own. I said to him last year that he sort of came of age in the F2 competition here in the Suzuki International Series. Well, this time he's kicked down the front door and he is the class of the field. No Cormac Buchanan, no Shane Richardson, and no Rogan Chandler. They've all moved on to bigger and better things. Seth Devereaux back in the class, another one whose career has been punctuated with fairly serious injuries, but great to see the man from Invercargill back to what is pretty close to his very best. Back on board here with Durning as he works his way through the trade zone corner and heads towards the Mondial VGL curves once again. Devereaux, meantime, heads up and over the Bridgestone overbridge. White flag is about to come out, I would think, maybe in the next lap for the race leader. Devereaux's just got ahead a little bit now of Luca Durning in third. Wolfgang Schuster starting to pick up Durning. That's the battle for third and fourth at the moment. And then we go back to Ashton Hughes on the Triumph as they work their way down towards the Suzuki crossing once again. There is Durning, there is Wolfgang Schuster from Germany, and the next one through should be Ashton Hughes on the Triumph. Meantime, at the head of affairs, nothing's changed. The 99 out by the proverbial country mile. Second place, Seth Devereaux. Then we go back to the 3 of Durning. Then we go back to Wolfgang Schuster. Schuster getting a little bit closer in the closing stages of this one. It'll be the white flag this time for the top protagonist, and that is Morgan McLaren Wood. There is the second place man. He sees the white flag as well. So can he do anything about Morgan McLaren Wood? You'd have to be realistic and say no, he cannot. He comes out of the Auto Super Shop of Tara down the short chute and out onto the Sharp Edge line haul straight for the last time. Wolfie Schuster gets a little bit closer to Luca Durning. This is where the racing is at the moment. There's Ashton Hughes in the background. He's back in a distant 5th place. Schuster gets a little bit closer as they go through the Suzuki S's. Devereaux looks pretty comfortable in second. Morgan McLaren Wood is very comfortable in first place. The battle at the moment is third and fourth. Through the trade zone, Robert Holden Memorial Corner goes Seth Devereaux. And into trade zone number 2. Meantime, the checkered flag has come out a half a lap ahead of the rest of the field for the 99 of Morgan McLaren Wood. He wraps up the race here and probably wraps up the championship as well. Seth Devereaux goes across the line in second place. Then it was Luca Durning holding on from the German Wolfgang Schuster. So plenty of talk, but it's action we want to see, and it's action you will see in our third and final coverage from Wanganui, happening next week right here on CRC Motorsport. We'll see you then.